Welcome to the Global Interview. Thank you for listening. This is where you can keep up to date with all the latest news and information direct from leading creatives, leaders, and thinkers. We can help to keep you right up to date with all the latest information from interesting people who make a real difference in this globally connected world. You can find out more about the show at theglobalinterview.com. Enjoy the episode.
Erica Orange is Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of the Future Hunters, one of the world's leading futurist consulting firms. She evaluates emerging social, technological, economic, political, demographic and environmental trends, and identifies the strategic implications, the so what, of those trends for several of the most influential Fortune 500 companies, trade associations and public sector clients. Erica's ability to identify patterns, think critically and analytically, and translate that into actionable strategies is what has made her an invaluable asset to clients. Erica frequently speaks to a wide range of global audiences about the macro trends that are shaping and impacting today's landscape. She has spoken at TEDx and keynoted several dozen conferences around the world, including across Europe, Latin America, and Asia. She has also authored numerous articles, book chapters, and industry white papers on cutting-edge, future-focused topics, and is recognized in the industry as having a unique, innovative and fresh perspective. Tell us about your current role and what you like about your career/role or areas of focus. I am COO and EVP of the Future Hunters, an NYC-based futurist consultancy. I identify and analyze long-term global trends, sociocultural, technological, economic and political, and the direct implications for business. The hardest part of my job is staying objective and not letting my own value judgments or preconceived notions influence my thinking. I am constantly challenging my assumptions and constantly learning. And a core part of that learning is sometimes having to forget the things that no longer serve me based on where the future is moving. Since change is the only constant, I always challenge myself to see things through fresh eyes. What inspires you, motivates you, helps you to make each day count? Having my own business affords me the flexibility to make my own schedule and dedicate equal time to work and family. My 3-year-old son, Zayn, is my inspiration. After a long fertility journey, he is what provides me with purpose, meaning and a sense of awe. He is what gives me my deepest sense of pride. Outside of your professional work area, what hobbies or interests do you have, or what other areas of your life are of real importance to you? Travel is something I am passionate about. I feel blessed to have been able to travel the world through my work. My husband is my business partner, so we have been able to experience different places, cultures, and outdoor adventures together. When it comes to your life-chosen career, is there a phrase, quote or saying that you really like? My mother-in-law, Edie Weiner, founded our firm over 40 years ago. She introduced me to the world of futurism, brought me into her business and mentored me from a young age. She gave me the platform with which I could find my own voice, explore different possible futures, and forge my own path. She often recites the quote by Yogi Berra, "When you get to a fork in the road, take it." And that is something that has always resonated with me and allowed me to grab a hold of new opportunities. In life, it's never about following one path. And the future doesn't follow one path. Things rarely unfold unidirectionally. Everything is multidirectional, and it's about exploring all of those paths simultaneously. There are multiple realities, and multiple futures. This is true both of the macro-external environment, and of the micro-internal environment. In other words, we all have a choice in how we approach life and our respective futures. What do you wish you had known when you started out? Every part of life is a journey and a different chapter in your book. I was very green when I started in this business. I had a lot to learn, and I needed to learn how to find my voice. If I knew the things I knew now, I wouldn't have been on the same journey. I am proud of not only finding strength in my voice but strength in my content and message for the future. Who do you most admire in business, academic or creative circles? I once had the pleasure of sharing a stage in Malaysia with Jane Goodall. It was unforgettable as she has always been one of my heroes. She is a conservation icon that leads with her heart and has done an incredible amount of good for this planet. What companies, brands, or institutions do you like or do you think are getting it right? Getting it right is not one size fits all. There are brands that are making incremental strides in sustainability and getting it more right than others from an eco perspective. Then there are other brands that are getting it right from a generational perspective. They have figured out how to leverage social media or marketing messaging to appeal to Gen Zers, for instance. And there are others who are completely revamping their business models to capitalize on automation and artificial intelligence. The biggest piece of advice for any entity today is to engage in strategic foresight and have the discipline to engage in truly long-term thinking. Getting is right is a sliding scale. What drives or motivates you each day in a work environment? My work is one of curiosity, discovery, and imagination. I am motivated each day to take the things we know about the present and reconfigure them to try and understand what the future might hold. If we focus only on the things that are in our field of vision, it can be easy to ignore things in the periphery. That's what I try to focus on, the things that aren't necessarily in plain sight but have the ability to reshape the future. It's like one big puzzle. We are given the pieces, but it requires a combination of both pattern recognition and open-mindedness to put the pieces together into a cohesive portrait. And then take that portrait and decipher what it could mean for different industries. What are your thoughts on the future of social media? Social media, in its infancy, represented a brave new world. It allowed for the sharing of great amounts of global information, fostered connections between people, bridged the gap between cultures and enabled remote villages to be hyper-aware of what was happening outside of their world. Over the years, it has provided its users with services, opportunities and pleasures that were once the privilege of the rich and influential. But while a powerful tool for mass democratization, it has, in many ways, created a blended universe, a paradoxical world which is simultaneously delightful and frightening. It can be argued that social media has emerged as a mirror to human nature. Some of what we see is inspirational, innocent, playful and entertaining. But some of it is repellent, with platforms becoming hotbeds of racism, hate, falseness and cruelty. While the world has always operated in extremes, for example, war versus peace, good versus evil, the difference now is that this bifurcated world can be experienced 24/7 and on a global scale. While social media is a powerful global tool, it's also a powerful global weapon. Many think we are living in a post-fact society, a society in which made-up stories inspire real incidents. The world of social media consists of free-flowing alternate realities empowered by a growing distrust of facts. And a growing distrust of our institutions. Once our primary informational gatekeepers, our institutions are no longer the only ones distributing news. Our media outlets have lost both cultural power and the general public's trust. At the same time, harassment, trolling and religious and violent extremism is growing at an alarming rate on social media. What is your favorite social media platform, and why? The one that I am not on. Do you have a mentor, or have you ever been a mentor to anyone? I am a strong believer in reverse mentorship. I was a mentor to a teenager for several years, but in turn, he was also a mentor to me. He had a unique worldview and taught me about how his generation leverages social media, communicates, forms friendships, uses technology, etc. I have long advised senior leaders in companies to tap into the brainpower of young people, particularly because of the rate of technological change today. How do you network? What is your preferred way to network? Throughout my professional life, I have always been surrounded by an incredible cadre of powerhouse women. Women who not only support other women but will prop up other women and create an environment of mutual success. The magic of this, for me, has always happened in person. What advice would you have for someone looking to get into the same area of work? Do not be wedded to one version of the future. Always challenge yourself to find the countertrend because the two operate in tandem. Many people make a mistake to gravitate to one trend/one vision of the future, and that is all they know. Another piece of advice is that it is easy to get stuck in the cliches, but try and push beyond them and originate your own thinking. How do you define success, and what lessons have you learned so far that you could share with our audience? Success to me is tied directly into integrity. The integrity of our collective work, the integrity of our relationships with clients. And it's about balance. We are a family business, so that fact that we all haven't killed each other yet is definitely a major barometer of success. What skills do you feel have helped you to become successful? Authenticity. When I speak, who I am comes through. Quirks and all. I am passionate about the things I write about and talk about, and I think that energy comes through in everything that I do. I used to be my own worst critic and was hard on myself for little idiosyncrasies. But I learned to embrace them authentically and genuinely, and that is something that I think resonates with clients and audiences.
Thank you for listening to this episode from The Global Interview. We appreciate your support. If you would like to find out more, please visit theglobalinterview.com.